Turn me on, Jack. All right, I'm looking at the people online. Christian Gomez. Jennifer Asbury. Are you working, Jennifer, or are you paying attention? I'm just joking with you. Kevin Brown, good to see everybody online. I can see your faces. If you don't, they have monitors down below. Lisa Yeakley. Good to see everybody. Okay, Darius. Joshua, I always see you. Garrett, good to see everybody. I can see your faces. I hope this is helping you. How many of you think this is going to help drastically improve your financial future? Okay, now, I always talk about talents. I can't cook. I'm geographically illiterate. I get lost when I go places. Can't fix a car. But one of my gifts is that the good Lord gave me the ability to take a concept and deconstruct that concept and codify that concept and go much deeper on that concept and then package that concept up in a way that helps another person. The follow-up is one part of a bigger system, but it is a very important part. When you try to leave this afternoon, somebody takes that spark plug out of your car, try to leave without the spark plug in your car. You ain't leaving. Follow-up is such an important part of life that people just tell you, you should just follow up better. Just do a better job of closing people. Just do a better job of follow-up. But they don't really teach you the methodology of follow-up. They don't really help you understand the importance of the follow-up. They don't really help you understand how much money you could be losing in the follow-up. Okay? So there's an art to this. Okay? And if nothing else from today, you're taking away, most likely, the way you've been following up has been wrong. Okay? You're not really helping a person come to a decision. You're not really showing them how you can solve a problem for them. You're not really presenting an opportunity in a way that they can get. You're just kind of banging on them and you can't figure out, well, why won't they take action on this? Okay? Just like I follow up with that guy on the video, I'm trying to make my argument for why he should do this. Look, man, we believe, me and this whole group of people believe that your people will be better off if they come to this lodge. Okay? So what should we never do? Okay? So if we understand the game, here's the game, folks. This is a game, like sport. Okay? Money changes hands when problems are solved. You've heard that multiple times today. The bigger the problem, the more money people will pay to solve that problem. If it's a small problem, they pay very small money. If it's a big problem, they'll pay bigger money. You could solve the same problem for bigger people. So the follow-up is your way of articulating how you can solve the problem better than anyone else. See, most likely, they're looking at other credit card processing companies. Most likely, they're looking at other people that could do what you do. Most likely, other people have already hit on them about your services. It's up to you to say, out of everybody you could choose, there is nobody more qualified than us. And let me tell you why we're more qualified. And let me tell you the people we have helped. Okay? It's up to you to fight for you, folks. If you don't get in the ring and fight for you, ain't nobody going to fight for you. Okay? You got to get in there and say, look, this is why you should go with us, man. And you got to understand, let's go back to our real estate agent down in Florida. Why has she not followed up? See, she could make a lot more money if she just understands what we're talking about today. Because even if her following up, it may force me to think about it. See, one purpose of the follow-up is to make me think about it. I wasn't thinking about it. Now all of a sudden I'm thinking about it. Okay? I was interested. Now you've lost my interest. So once you really understand this, look at all these things. And this is where people fall off the wagon. Number one, I want to rekindle the initial attraction. You were interested. The purpose of this follow-up, man, is to get you back focused here. We live in a very distracted world. The word distract means to pull apart. We are pulled in too many different directions. What I'm really doing here is I'm bringing you back to help you focus. This is a very important thing. Okay? I'm showing you, number two, how I can solve your problem. Now look at 3 and 4. because this is something people seldom do. There's a book on this called The Challenger Sale. And the Challenger Sale basically makes a case that 40% of all top salespeople are what they call challengers. And a challenger is a person that makes you think. Okay? When you give them an excuse, they don't just roll over. Like, well, timing's not right. Okay? I can say, I understand. I can understand why you think the timing's not right. But let me ask you a question, okay? When in your life has the timing ever been right to get started on something? I always joke and say if the timing had to be right, I'd still be a high school girls basketball coach, winning championships. Right? I would have never left coaching if the timing had to be right, because my team went on to win 7 more championships after I left. Right? I'd still be coaching high school basketball if I'd been waiting on the timing to be right. Timing is never right to do something, folks. People use timing as an excuse. Well, I just had a new kid. Okay, just because you had a new kid don't mean the world stops. People say that all the time. Man, I just had a baby. I'm like, oh, so you're not making any decisions since you just had a baby? Right? I love this one. Oh, I'm traveling. Hey, I'm traveling. I'm going to be in Arizona. Let me ask you a question. Does your cell phone still work in Arizona? Because it works. When I travel, my phone still works, even when I'm traveling. See, people give you such lame excuses. I'm really busy. I understand. I called a woman once, and the first thing I remember, it's not a good time to talk. That's what I said. I said, you know what? It wasn't a good time for me to call you, but I did. Why? Because you asked me to. So people give you excuses. When I call a person, one of my favorite things to say is we could have this talk today, or we could have it 6 months from today. But you and I know nothing's going to change until you change it. Okay? Now, so I challenge them. Okay? Let's go back to the mortgage thing, Trevor. We can train your people today, or we can train them when the market is so tight. We can help them generate leads and get in the habit of prospecting today so they will have leads when the markets go up and the rates go up. Or we can wait till the rates go up and everybody's scared out of their mind. Now, which one would you rather do? Which one makes better sense to you? See, I ask hard questions to people. I challenge them. Well, I've been looking at your coaching program. Well, it can't help you if you just look at it. Does that make sense? Well, I've been thinking about coming to that lodge. Well, okay, good. I can't actually help you till you come to the lodge. Okay? So what I do when I'm selling people in my follow-up is I challenge them. Now, the only reason people will let me challenge them is because, right, I'm an authority. If you try to challenge a person and they're not in authority, you're not in authority, it's not going to come across well. Okay? So I challenge people to stop and think. I look like this. I'm driving down the road and you hit me with something and you say something. It's like, man, I need to do this. I need to stop and think about this. This is important. And number 4, to trigger movement. We never know what will trigger movement in a buying decision. We never know why a person will take an action. We just got to keep going. And then something triggers a person. Right? We don't know what it is. Could be a video. Could be a phone call. Could be a text message. Could be something that they see. So for you, this is really the purpose of the follow-up. Now, having said that, this is how most people follow up. And I don't ever want you to follow up. Okay? Everybody see that? This is what people say. Just checking in. How many of y'all are guilty of this one? Just checking in. Had a real estate agent once tell me he was just doing his due diligence with me. I'm like, I think I'm the one doing the due diligence. There. Genius. Number 3, woke up thinking about you. We already figured out that's creepy. No, I'm ready. Are you ready? I love this one. Do you have any questions? What if I say no? I don't have any questions. Where do you go from there? Just wonder if you have any questions. Nope. There's nowhere for you to go. When you ask me these questions. These do not, here's the deal. These do not help me do these other things, right? This is the purpose of the follow-up, folks. I'm trying to make a decision. Help me make a decision. That's why you're following up with me. I'm thinking about it. I'm sleeping on it. I'm praying about it. I'm talking to my wife about it. I'm trying to make a decision. Okay? Well, that's why you're following up with me here, okay? Now, so let's go. Let's just look at some of the things that we can do. So let's talk about momentum, then we're going to get into some conversion. These are some momentum closes. These are some things I say to people. Man, I brought you exactly what you wanted on a silver platter. I listened to you, and I brought it to you. I love saying we lose 10% of momentum every day we don't act. Maybe more. We can talk about it, we can sleep on it, we can think about it. Man, it can't help you till you move. There is a power in taking action. There is a power in taking action. Okay? You got to sleep on it, you're probably not going to sleep in it. You're focused on the wrong numbers. I love when people say, man, it's going to cost me this much. No, it's not going to cost you. Okay? It's not going to cost this guy to send 6 people to the lodge, spend 2 days with me. It's going to cost him by not sending them. So there's a cost to inaction in life. Okay? Have you seen enough to make a decision and take them to a place in the future and bring it back? Now, so what I want to do is I want to get to some of these conversion points. Okay? Now, I can't believe I haven't done this all day, but I'm going to do it right now. This is a Google Jamboard, which I love because I'm a coach. I want you to think of it like this. You are using X number of strategies to drive people in the door. Those are called leads. And you got a hit list, and you got a farm club, and you got a red zone, and you're doing events. Those are showcase. And you got a top 25, and you got current clients, right? And you got a database, and you're doing social media. Everybody see that? These are all the things you're doing to do one thing. Get your phone to ring. If you don't have enough leads coming in the door, it's because you're not working enough strategies. Or the strategies you're not working are not good enough. After people come in the door, something's going to happen. So let's pretend over here we've initiated. We have disarmed. We have located a problem. Okay? We are now going to explain our services, the EOS. When we explain our services, the EOS, we're going to do it with some conviction. We believe it. Those people are either going to say, yes, I'm interested, or no, I'm not interested. And you should know in 15 seconds. Okay? If I get interest right here, and they say, yes, I'm interested, but I have not seen enough to make a decision. This initiates a what? Touch follow-up. 7 touch follow-up. Okay? So right here, I'm interested. Over here is when a person buys. This could take, I know somebody online asked, how often do I follow up? It depends on the velocity and the interest of the prospect. How do I know what the velocity is? I ask a simple question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about this? If you were going to do it, would you do it today? Would you do it this week? Would you do it tomorrow? And if they say, look, I'm very interested, I just need to work, right? Need to work on a few things. Okay, good. That's what I call inside baseball. Inside baseball is there's something going on that you don't know about. It's not an objection, right? Like I do a lot of real estate deals, okay? It's complicated. Trying to pull one off in Scottsdale, one in Florida, one in Nashville, one in Sacramento. Everybody with me? It's all predicated on a number of things happening. Okay? So it may be like, look, I'm trying to do this, but something's got to happen. It's not easy pulling this together, okay? So here's the deal. Between the time I say I'm interested, okay, that's me looking at that building in Florida last week. Hey, I like it. I'm interested. I think I can figure out a way to make money with it. There's just some things I got to figure out. Okay? Now, let's play this out. If you were that real estate agent and I told you I was interested, okay, how often should she have followed up with me? 7 times. What should be the velocity of that? Meaning how many times and what time period?
7 in the next, within 2 days, based on your
That's exactly right. See, my philosophy is from 36 hours from the time a person indicates interest, you got 36 hours to try to pull them in. After you get past the 36 hours, there is a much harder way to get their attention back.
Mike, when you say 36 hours to pull them in, like to get them to go, yes, like
that's right.
I'm ready to move forward.
Get them to commit to something.
Commit to something.
That's right. So see, the very next day, that day, here's what I would recommend if I were coaching her. That day after I left, I would have done a video. Hey, Coach Burt, I know you love the property. This property is 92% occupied already. I think if you put a greatness factory in here, here's the numbers. I'm going to work the numbers up tonight and send them to you on exactly how much positive cash flow this thing's going to produce. I'm also going to show you what other commercial structures are going for in the marketplace. I'm going to send you some projections, right? I'm going to send you the rent rolls. Everything you'd want to know to make a decision. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and send that to you tonight. I'm going to follow back up tomorrow. Hey, I know you're still in Florida. Would you like to come back and look at it again? See what I'm saying? I notice you're very interested in it. Do you think you have your partners lined up to pull this thing off? See, that's touch number 2. Okay? Then I would just keep going. Touch number 3. Hey, let me put this structure together. We've done the math. We actually think this is what you could do. Touch number 3. Touch number 4. Would you like for me to work with your agent to put together a proposal for you and draw this thing up? See, just keep me moving. See, she hadn't done any of those things. She showed me the property, and that's it.
You're doing all those in the first 36 hours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That was my question.
Yeah, I would have done all of that in the first 36 to 48 hours.
And if they didn't respond, let's say, for whatever reason.
When I get to touch number 5, around touch number 5, hey, just want to make sure that you're still interested in this, and this is something non-linear. Just want to make sure you're still interested in this. And I may say, yep, I'm trying to put some things together right here. It's complicated. I am interested. I got one partner on board, but I've got to get another partner who ain't on board. Okay? One problem with that building is they have signed short-term tenants in the building, and one of my partners is afraid of the short-term tenant. Okay? So what I would do is I'd come in, I would increase the value of the property by adding a greatness factory, adding training, adding the rooftop that they already have that they're not using. I'd go to those tenants and I'd say, man, we're going to drastically increase the value of this being in this building. We're not going to ask you to increase the rents, but we are going to ask you to sign a 3-year lease to stay here with us. Okay? That's what I do. Now, here's the point. I got to sell a partner, right, to pull this deal off. I got to sell him on this is my strategy. I think this strategy can work. You're betting on me and you're betting on this. So that doesn't happen in a second. It takes a minute to do that. So I need a little bit of time to work through this. Okay? But she has no idea what roadblocks I'm facing right now. She should say, what's the biggest roadblocks? I may say, look, it's priced at 4.9. You and I both know it ain't worth 4.9. The market's telling me it's worth 4.2 to $4 million. So how much flexibility do we have on this property? How bad on a scale of 1 to 10 does your seller want to sell this puppy? Right? She may go, hey, we can get it done at 4.2. Now we're speeding things up. Does that make sense? But right now there's no communication. She's sitting there waiting on me to call her. I'm sitting there waiting on her to do something. I actually am not waiting. I'm working on the deal, but she's not really doing anything. What she ought to be doing is moving it. Moving it. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, Coach, I know, see, she don't even know I want to do greatness factors because she didn't ask me the question. What are you trying to do here? Why would you spend your time on a Saturday looking at this property? How could you justify spending $4.5 million on this? See, she don't know any of those things because she didn't do any discovery. Everybody see that? She don't know what to say. So guess what she's going to say to me when she does follow up? Hey, just checking in with you. Do you have any questions? Right? See, here's the deal. Where's my? I know we got all kinds of people in the room right now. Let me ask you a question. How much money is this costing this woman right now? $5 million at 3% is what? 150 grand? Okay, folks, that's a $150,000 conversation.
You should call her up right now.
That's how much it's costing her.
So listen, I'm just waiting on a couple friends.
Here's my point. It ain't costing me 150 grand. It's costing her 150 grand. Because the way she's looking at this is all wrong. She's sitting and waiting on something to happen. Now, here's the deal. Why has the property been on the market for 3.5, 4 years? Yes. The property's beautiful. It would sell if somebody would get in there and actually pay attention to it.
I'll sell it to you.
So my point is, I know, a lot of people would. All right, so we got a question online, Jack? I can't see that one. It's already gone away.
It's how often do you follow up with a major CEO of a billion-dollar company versus small mom and pop opportunity, and what close would you use in those two different situations?
Okay, here's the deal. Great question. We're going to get into conversion points because the purpose of these follow-ups, I got you in the door. I explained our value, right? You indicated interest. Now, it may take me 3 touches. I don't know. It may take me 7 to 15. I don't know between here and there. So the purpose of my follow-up is going to be 2 ways to that question. Linear is direct. But you don't want to come at people direct all the time. Because if you come at them direct all the time, they move into a defensive posture. Okay? I'm a high D. I'm certified in the DISC profile. There are certain ways you need to communicate with me and certain ways you don't. If you come at me too hard, too much, I will just say, look, I'm out, man. I do not, look, this is now bothering me. My wife is a high S, high C. She needs a lot of information to make a decision. If you pressure her hard, she will shut down immediately on you. I can handle the pressure, but when the pressure becomes annoying to me, then I check out. So if you just push and push and push and push and push and push, I'm going to say, you need to back up. Okay? Because now you're distracting me. That's not the way to sell me. Does that make sense? I want you to bring the idea. I want you to give me 3 options. High D's like options. Here's 3 options. Okay? I want you to present it in a quick manner. I got 2 minutes. I'm going to show you exactly how we can make money with this. Boom. Here's 3 ways you can do this. 2, 3. Okay? High S, high C needs information. They need assurance. They need testimonials. So when I'm following up, so the question, it doesn't really matter if they're running a billion-dollar company or a small company. What they're really selling to is a certain personality style. And that personality style is going to receive information in a certain way. Okay? And they're still, if they're running a billion-dollar company, it's still a human being. So they got fears and problems and issues and pressure. And listen, the little small business owner has got just as much pressure on them as that guy running a billion-dollar company does. They're trying to make it from minute to minute and week to week. Everybody's got pressure. So all you're trying to do for the billion-dollar CEO is real simple. Solve a problem. And if you can articulate how you can solve a problem, if you came to me and said I could sell $1 million of your books every year, I just want to keep 500,000 of it, I'd say go for it.
Let's do it.
You keep 50%. If you can sell $1 million of my books every year, find me, because sitting on the bookshelf, they ain't selling to anybody.
That's right.
See, you solve a problem for me. If you came to me and said, look, I can raise $25 million, build greatness factories all over the country, all you got to do is show up and be real pretty. Y'all like that? Okay, that was a joke, by the way. All you got to do is show up and smile and be Coach Burt. You know what I'd say? Go for it. You say, look, I just want to keep a couple points on the $25 million. I don't care. Go for it. If you can raise $25 million for me and we can build 10 greatness factories, go for it. I'm here. I'm open. Because that solves a problem for me. Does that make sense? Okay? See, this is how you need to be thinking. What is your problem and how can I solve it? If I go to Paul Mitchell and I go to Win Clayball and I say, man, what's the biggest problem you face in these Paul Mitchell schools? What would he tell me? What's the biggest problem?
Retention, enrollment.
Okay, retention and what?
Enrollment, recruitment.
Okay, so that's really going out and getting new people, right? And then keeping them engaged, keeping them seeing it all the way through to its conclusion. Because when they stop coming, do they stop paying?
Yes.
Okay, so there's the problem. How fast we figure that out, folks? Okay, now earlier in the day, I said your pitch needs to be simple. It needs to be aligned. It needs to be, invaluable. It needs to be aligned. It needs to be a priority. So if I said, look, Win, I put together a plan. It's going to help you recruit more people. It's going to help you retain more people and engage with those people. It's going to save you a lot of money coming out the back door, right? If I could solve that problem for you, would it be valuable for you? And if he says, absolutely, Coach, okay, great. Here's how we're going to do it, right? That's how the follow-up should be. The follow-up is not, hey, I'm trying to sell you something. Hey, I'm trying to sell you something. Hey, I'm trying to sell you something. He's got problems. Everybody has problems, okay? So the purpose of this is, how big of a problem is it? On a scale of 1 to 10, ask a simple question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how big is this problem? And if you could take this off my plate, you know what it would do for my life, right? So let's go back to Jay. How many of you need to be more famous in the world? Yeah, okay? That's public relations, right? How do you, so let's call it something else. How do you help me go from a baby star to a big star? If I said, Jay, look, I want to be as big as Milet, as big as Cardone, as big as old Tony Robbins is, okay? And you said, look, I got a plan, and I've done this for 17 people. I've helped them go from little baby stars like you, Coach Burt, to big, huge stars in the world. And if I could do this for you, would that be valuable for you? If you could show me that you've actually done it for people versus tell me you've done it for people, which is what a lot of people do, then I'm interested. Now you got my attention. Now all you got to do is back it up. Everybody see that? Okay? Because that solves the problem. So the reason I'm showing you this is conversion points are, look, I got 17 problems, okay, at one time that I'm dealing with. Everybody see that? I got 1,000 clients. I got new people online. I've got this problem and that problem and that problem. I got a sick kid. Like if you come along and help me solve these problems, then you are valuable to me. But here's the deal. I got 17 problems at one time I'm dealing with. You got to help say, on a scale of 1 to 10, man, how big is this problem you got right now? Man, it's real big. What are you trying to do? Well, I'm trying to do this. Okay, good. Man, let me go back and craft a strategy to solve these problems for you. Okay, now I'm going to tell you how I became a head coach at 22. Okay, I was an assistant coach for 3 years. Okay, Mike, you listen to this? Okay, this is real good for everybody here. And my head coach would constantly bark out problems. Okay, he was a real nice guy, much nicer than I am. And he would say, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like that. Those other assistant coaches would go, yep, that's right, boy, that's good, coach. You know what I did? Every time he said a problem, I wrote it down. Then I'd go back to him and I'd say, sir, with your permission, I'd like to solve that problem for you. I heard you said that we don't do a good job boxing out and rebounding. I'm going to bring the players in on Saturday morning, and I'm going to work with them for a couple hours on nothing but rebounding. Would that be valuable for you? Yes, sir. He's like, who are you? What planet did you come from? Those other assistants would just sit there and go, yep, that's a problem, that's a problem. And I was always a solution to his problems. I'd say, man, what keeps you up at night? Man, I just can't, we can't do this right, we can't run. With your permission, I'd like to solve that for you. I said, I notice you don't like that we get gas on the way to the games, distracts you away from everything. Is it okay if I go ahead and take the bus before, fill it up with gas, have it all shined up, ready to go, so we don't have to do that? Would that be helpful for you? Yes, sir. Now, at 52 years old, he retired. And here's what he said, I'm not retiring unless this one little dude replaces me. Because this dude is invaluable to me. Those other assistant coaches got mad. How could they hire him? He's just a little kid. You know why? Because I was solving problems. Every time he made a statement, I wrote it down. He don't like this. He don't like this. He don't like this. That is a solution to a problem. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because when you're following up, I want you to understand, okay, boom, conversion points. So look at this. I follow up and I convert. So let's get in. So what I'm really trying to do in my conversion is move you towards some desired outcome. I'm trying to convert your interest, right? And I'm trying, so let's use another word versus convert. I'm trying to close. I'm trying to get you to say yes, right? So these are my 7 top closes. So this is going to be real valuable. That's why I made you wait down toward the end of the day to get them. I'm just getting warmed up, Trevor. I could go all night. Okay? That's right. Here we go. Now, if you don't use these to close in your follow-up, then shame on you. How many of you struggle with follow-up? Raise your hand. I mean closing. Okay? Closing is getting a person to commit. We quit talking, and it's time for action. Part of my 7 touches. Okay? This will be a direct linear touch. Okay? These are the ones I'm going to give you. These are little conversion points. It's just me drawing it up on my iPad. Okay? This is what it says because you probably can't read it. Okay? But this is the closing Hall of Fame. Coach Burt's closing Hall of Fame. All right? My number one close, one of my top closes is what I call the sweet tea and apple pie close. We live in the South. And in the South, people are sweet, friendly, and some of you are afraid to just ask a very direct question. So here's a way to ask this question. Out of everything I shared with you, what piqued your interest the most? It's soft. It allows them to talk. Out of everything I shared with you today, what did you like the most out of what I shared? Okay, it's a real simple way. I call it the sweet tea and apple pie close. Now, when they tell you, I really like this, I really like this. Okay, great. Let's unpack that. If I could do this for you, like I have done it for these other people, what would stop you from moving forward with me today? Notice the key word there. Today. Not tomorrow. Today. Okay? Sweet tea and apple pie. Out of everything I shared, what piqued your interest the most? If I could show you how we did it, would you take action right now? All right? Number 2, close. What I call the momentum close. I believe we lose 10% of momentum every day we don't take action, maybe more. Now let me ask you a question. How many of you have ever been on the wrong side of momentum? Man, we don't want that to happen. You build momentum in life by taking action, not by being static. Okay? So I call that the momentum close. This is a conversion point. Now, would I use these every time? No. So for bonus points here, folks, every third to fourth touch, I would use one of these. What would be a nonlinear touch here? So you said yes. Give me an example of a nonlinear touch. What would a nonlinear touch be? Video. That's right. Video, data, example, strategy, testimonial. That's a nonlinear. Nonlinear. Jab, jab, jab. Hook. Every fourth time is a linear. Okay, and a linear is, have you seen enough to make a decision? Okay? We lose 10% of momentum every day we don't act. Are you ready to take an action? When in doubt, take an action. Okay? Number 3. Because the word close means to bring two things together, because the word close means to bring two things together, I actually say this. What we're doing here is we're really bringing two things together. We're bringing your desire for X and my experiences of Y. And we're bringing these two things together. See, you're bringing your desire to learn how to follow up, to generate more income, to go pro with my 28 years of experience of helping people do it. A proven system, a real methodology, a demonstrated capacity. Okay? What we're doing is we're bringing these two things together. You got a desire. Okay? You're trying to move toward your B. Your B is some desired outcome you would like to drive. I am here to help you. Okay? That's all I'm here to do is help you move toward your desired outcome. But I can't help you until you commit to something. Okay? So what I do is I actually stack these on top of each other. I stack these closes on top of each other. Okay? So I may say, hey, we're losing momentum. I believe we lose 10% of momentum. Out of everything I shared with you, what piqued your interest the most? Boom, this. Okay, if I could do this for you, like I've done it for these people, here's the testimonials. What would stop you from moving forward with me right now? Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about this? Because I thought you were serious, but don't seem like to me you're that serious. See how I'm stacking these on top of each other? I may use all 7 of these in one close. Okay, so what we're doing, and I'll say this many times, is we're really bringing two things together here, right? We're bringing two things together. You got a desire and I got a know-how. You got a problem, I got a solution. Okay? That's the two things together close. Okay? All right, next one, the challenge close. This is a tougher one. Okay? I was thinking about my good buddy who I worked out with in the mornings, and we did Tai Bo. Tai Bo is like a mixed martial arts. And I would go down to his house in the morning. He's got this big gym. And he noticed that I was losing a significant amount of weight, and I was getting down to what I call my Floyd Mayweather fighting weight. And he would make comments like, man, I noticed you're getting down, you're getting thin, you're getting trimmed up, you're getting more cut, you're getting more right. And I said, yeah, man, I'm on this nutrition plan. It's working for me. It's easy, it's convenient. He just talk about it. Let's talk about it. We'd work out, but he didn't lose any weight. We'd work out, and he wouldn't lose any weight. We'd work out, and he didn't lose any weight. Then he would ask me about it some, and I would tell him, this is what I'm doing, man. And then one day I said, man, look, man, I'm just going to be honest with you. You can't outwork a bad diet. We can get in this gym. We can work out every day if you want to. But I didn't get to my ideal weight until I combined the proper nutrition with my workouts. Okay? Now, you've been telling me you want to lose weight for 60 days now. Let's just get honest with each other, man. We're best friends. I know you'd appreciate my honesty, right? Let me get you on the plan I'm on so you can lose the weight. Isn't that what you really want to do? Now, you see how I challenged him? You know what he said? Let's do it today. Everybody see that? Then I got him on the nutrition plan. We call that Monster Health. We've got a health division. Guess what? Loses 20 or 30 pounds. I'm like, see? I told you, man. Now, here's my point. My point is I challenged him. Many times I challenge people. You got hopes. You got dreams. You got ambitions. You got desires. There's things you want to do, man, but you're not doing them. Right? Like how many times have we got to talk about this? How many times have I got to listen to you complain about this? How many times have you got to pretend to want to get serious about this? Like man, I'm here. Hear my heart on this. I'm challenging you because it's time. It's time to do something. Right? It's time to take an action. That's my challenge close. Where I'm really just saying, look, I'm doing this because I love you. Right? I'm doing it because I love you, man. I'm trying to help you. But you won't let me help you because you won't make a decision. Now that word decide means to kill something off. I don't know what it is. Is it insecurity? Is it doubt? Is it vacillation? Is it money? What is keeping you from moving forward here? Okay? That's a much harder close, but sometimes people go, you're exactly right. I need to do this.
Michael, is that a close that's really case by case?
Yes.
Some guys that I'm going back and like ping pong, right?
Yeah.
Back and forth, and I've given them so much value. They're qualified, they got the money ready to go. And it's like, I've used that and it's worked, but sometimes it can come across too much too soon.
Well, I think there's a time and place. I think what we're looking for here is this. I say, look, all progress starts by telling the truth. If you are not interested in doing this and you're lukewarm about it, just tell me. I'm not going to bother you or pester you. The only reason I'm following up with you, we got a guy right now, Marlon Faulkner, who we followed up with for 2 years, and now he's doing something with us, and the dude's on fire. Now he's calling me, thanking me. Thank you so much for following up with me. Thank you for seeing the potential in me. Thank you for taking act. Thank you for staying in my face, man. So I just here's what I want. I want honesty. Okay? And if you said to me, what's stopping you from getting the blue check mark on Instagram, right, investing the money, it's not that I don't see the value in it. It's just I got a lot of things going on right now, right? And I'm trying to place a priority on, to me, everything's about a return on objective. And a return on it's not just necessarily all about the return on investment. It's about, hey, just like the painting. I see the value of a painting. Do I spend $1,000 on that? Do I spend $1,000 on this? Everybody see that? It's not that I don't see the value sometimes when I don't take action on something. Maybe there's something going on with me and it's not anything you could do. Maybe it's just you just got to stay in there with me, man. Right? If Victor comes to me and says, I want you to invest in storage units, because that's what he does for a living. Listen, I see the value in that. But right now, I'm investing in greatness factories. Now, if he can show me how I can build a greatness factory on top of a storage unit, then listen, maybe I'm interested. But it's his job to do what? Show me. See, remember, it's got to be aligned. My focus is on greatness factories. That's my legacy. That's my mission right now. So it's not that I'm against investing in storage units. Not that I'm against investing in apartment complexes. Not that I'm against investing in something you have. But you've got to remember where my focus is. And my focus is very tight on this one concept right now. Now, if you could tell me how to make it work with me. So if I don't take action with you, me being the consumer, it's not anything personal towards you. It's just like, hey, man, I got a lot going on. And right now it's somewhere on the list. Just stay in there with me. And I many times will say, just stay in there with me for a little bit. Ooh, see, now you got my interest to Lake Tahoe. Anywhere where it's inspirational, man, I'm open, okay? Now, so everybody see the challenge? Here's the deal. You go to the doctor today. This is a true story. Ed Milet. Ed Milet was an athlete in college. He was in great shape. He got hurt. He got out of shape. Started eating poor, getting out of shape. He went to the doctor. And the doctor said, man, I got to run some tests on you. Go eat some lunch and come back. He went down there. He got a big burrito. And he came back, and the doctor said, what did you eat for lunch? He said, man, I ate a big burrito, blah, 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 blah. And the doctor said, well, I just got a question for you, Ed. Do you have kids? Yeah, I got kids. Got a daughter. Got a son. And he said, well, just out of curiosity, who do you plan on walking your daughter down the aisle when she gets married? And he said, what do you mean? I am. He said, not at the rate you're going. Somebody else will be walking your daughter down the aisle. So who do you plan on walking your daughter down the aisle when she gets married? And you know what it did? Woke him up. He got in incredible shape, right? He said if the doctor would never said that to him, he said, man, it just shook him up. That is a challenge. Sometimes I say to people, look, I'm watching you. You are doing good things in the world, but your potential is so much greater than what you're doing. Help me to understand why you're playing at such a small level when you could be playing at such a big level, right? Right? And then I tag it on with the all-time best close of all time, which is why it asterisk, right? The commitment close. I can't help you till you, but once you commit, I'm not going to let you. If you're not using that one, man. Now, if they don't take action on that one, maybe they're not that serious. This is my favorite one. Man, I've been doing this 28 years. I know what I'm doing. I've helped thousands and thousands of people, but I can't help you because you won't make a decision. We've talked about it. We've slept on it, right? We've done everything we can do. I don't know how to help you here. Okay? Because I can't help you until you commit. A commitment is just two people agreeing to something. So this is a conversion point, okay? Now, look at all these closes that we have. Now, when you got a person on the phone and they're interested, and you're going through nonlinear, 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 linear. Nonlinear, nonlinear, linear. Okay? And when you ask them these questions, there's going to come a point where you stop. And typically for me, it's 7 to 15 touches. And I say, let me ask you a question. Have you noticed how hard I have worked to earn your business? Has anybody else worked this hard? Now, listen to my phrasing, because it's very important what I'm about to say. The words are very important. It seems like you want to do this, but you're stuck on one thing. Am I right about that? And I just name it. Seems like you want to do this, but you're stuck on the money piece. It seems like you want to do it, right? But you don't believe it'll work. It seems like you want to do it, right? But somewhere you got hesitation, doubt, vacillation, insecurity. Am I right about that? Just address it. This doesn't have to be a bad conversation, right? It seems like, it sounds like, it feels like. Okay? These are key words that you need to say. Man, it seems like you want to do this. It sounds like this is perfect for you. Feels like we got exactly what you've been looking for. Am I right about that? And let them talk. But you're stuck on one thing. Am I right about that one thing? Okay? Now, why do people give you objection? They don't have the time or they don't have the money. Everybody gets the same objections. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. Okay? And so these are just excuses. I understand. Okay? I don't have the $400 for the fuelings. Okay? Great. But you got money to go out to Texas Longhorn on Friday nights. Right? Tell you what, let's do a little thing. You track for a month how much money you're spending on food. Then come back to me. Okay? I don't have the money for the coaching. I understand. All the more reason that you need the coaching. Right or wrong? Okay? So when I listen to people, I go back and forth, man. I play pitch and catch with them. Okay? I go back. I just don't roll over and go, okay, I don't have time. Okay, all right, we'll see you. No, I understand. This is a commitment. It's going to take time. It's going to take energy. A commitment is not really a commitment unless it's backed up by time and energy and money. You can tell me all day long it's a commitment, but it's not. Okay? Now let's move to the next one. The AB. When I am talking to a person and I'm asking them a question, one of the things I'm asking is I always ask this: what's your B? B is some desired outcome. You're currently at A. You are trying to move toward B. What are you trying to do? My whole objective is to move you from A to B. Okay? That's all I'm trying to do here. It's move you from A to B. What are you trying to do? Trying to do X, trying to do Y, trying to do Z. Okay, great. Now, once they say there's going to be a cost associated with this, how many of you believe that there's a cost associated going from A to B? Yeah. There's always a cost to going from A to B, folks. Yeah. Okay? Now, what they're going to do is they're going to try to say this is too expensive. Of which I go back and say you're focused on the wrong number. This is not an expense. This is an investment. Now let me ask you a question. If I helped you get 15 more deals in a year, and I forced you to tell me how much that meant to you, and you say, oh my gosh, I'd make an extra $175,000 if I did 15 more deals. Okay, good. Here's the deal. I'm asking you for $49.97. Let me ask you a question. If I gave you $175,000 and you gave me under $5,000, would that be a good deal, yes or no? And you know what they say? Of course it would. I said, okay, that's what we're doing. If it were free, would you do it? Somewhere between where you are and where I am, somewhere between where you are and free, we got a deal. Right? You ask people if you're free, you would do it? Oh yeah, I'd do it. I'd do it if it's free. Okay? I say when you pay attention. You don't value things that are free. Okay? The reason I need you to commit to this is because, right? So here's what I do. I show people their future. Like the dude thinking, man, I should have sent 6 people to your booth. Listen, if I got those 6 people on fire and they made an extra $100,000, what's $3,000 if you make an extra $100,000? Now, I'm working with Marshall Silver right now. Marshall Silver is the #1 subconscious programmer in the world. For Marshall Silver to coach me, he wants $50,000 for the day. So how should he be selling me? I told you what he wants. He wants $50,000 for to coach me.
He was finds out what's where you want to go.
Okay. All right. So let's take what we've learned today.
Did you reach out or did he reach out to you?
No, well, kind of mutual. We kind of reach out to each other.
Okay.
He wants to work with me, and I go, I'd like to work with you. Here's the deal. What should, based on what you've learned today, how should he follow up with me?
You should make it
Project the results.
Okay. Coach, what are you trying to do, man? I'm trying to hit a certain number. If I could show you how the last 6 people I've worked with have made over $500,000 in the first 6 months after working with me for this day, would you be concerned with giving me the $50,000? No. See, look at how, this is how you follow up. I worked with so-and-so, and he made $600,000 in the first 6 months. Here's his phone number. I worked with so-and-so, and she did this in the first 6 months. Here's the phone number. Worked with so-and-so, coach, pick up the phone and call these people and ask them, is it worth it? Is the $50,000 worth it?
Have you asked him that question, or are you waiting for him to ask you that question? and why didn't you? I mean, does he think he's superior to you, or do you think you're superior to him? Why is there coming to minds? Why does it take so long?
Well, because he thinks he's superior to me, number one. And he has shown a demonstrated capacity to do this for other people. So sometimes when you've shown a lot of success, you don't follow up a lot. You don't think you need to follow up. Okay? And so I'm sitting here going, it's still $50,000. I'm still trying to justify, even though I'm not opposed to it, I'm still going, man, it's $50,000 for a day. Will I execute on it? Right? There's all this doubt, insecurity. Okay? So all he could do to close me is say, look, tell you what I'll do, coach. You come and spend a day with me, give me the $50,000, and if you don't make this much money back in the first 6 months, I'll give you the $50,000 back.
So why didn't you propose that to him?
Okay? Maybe I am proposing it to him. Now, here's my point. My point is, when a person can see the benefit to them, they still have a lot of doubt. And because they have doubt, they vacillate back and forth. I want to do it, but I'm scared to do it. I want to do it, but I'm scared to do it. I want to do it, but I'm scared to do it, right? Your job is to calm that doubt down by saying, let me show you how many times I've done this. And let me show you how many people I've helped. And let me show you the results that I've gotten for these people. And feed them right? What? I remember the first time I was flying back on my plane, and I had real turbulence. I was coming back from Memphis, Tennessee, and I was on a jet, and I have a 7-passenger jet, like a Hawker. And so I'm flying back from Memphis, and I go speak all day, and I'm tired, my brain is tired, and we get back, and the pilot says to me, who was Reggie Jackson's pilot, the famous baseball player, he said, Coach, we've got some bad storms. He said, let me show you the pattern I'm going to take to get us home. And he pulled out his iPad. He said, I'm going to go right through here, and I'm trying to avoid this sail of this real bad thunderstorm. But I have a strategy. And I'm like, okay, no worries. And I get on that plane, man, and I thought we were literally going to fall out of the sky. We were getting hit with all kinds of turbulence. We were dropping significantly. We're turning. I had 6 people on there. We're holding hands, praying. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, what have I done? Right? Like I was scared to death. I literally, because it was dark, it was late, I couldn't see out, we're in the middle of a storm, like it literally felt like I was going to fall out of the sky. And so we get back to Nashville, and my pilot comes up out of the cockpit, and he looks back, and he's like, gosh, wasn't that awesome, Coach? I'm like, what's wrong with you, man? But he said something to me I'll never forget. He said, Coach, I know it's uncomfortable, but it's not unsafe. These planes are engineered to handle this kind of turbulence. Okay? And that one statement. So I go home and I Google, do planes fall out of the sky? And I buy a book called Cockpit Confidential. And I read, and guess what it says in those books? Those planes are engineered to handle that kind of turbulence. Okay? Now, here's what I'm telling you. Then the next time I had turbulence, I felt better. Because, man, it's just a little bump. It's just like hitting a pothole in the road. These guys are trained to handle it. This is what they do every single day. They've flown thousands and thousands of hours. Everybody see that? Now, here's the deal. That taught me a lesson. What calms a person down is information. Knowledge calms a person's nerves. I know this seems like a big investment to you. I know you're scared to do this. Okay, but we're focused on the wrong things here. I'm a professional. I'm a pro. I know what I'm doing. Let me get you across the finish line. Okay? Knowledge calms the crock brain. Okay? So a person that's scared of spending money, you need to feed them information. Feed them information. Feed them information. And listen, I'm as guilty as you are. Because I want to put something together, because I know the power of speed, like I want to just call you and say, let's go. Right? But that's not how the brain works. The brain has to see it, be comfortable with it. Right? So what I got to do is sometimes I got to slow down and say, look, here's the strategy I would use. Here's the 3 ways I would do this. Here's the 2 ways I've done this with other people. Here's the 17 people I've helped do this. Like, give them the information they need. Okay? Now, let me give you 2 more, and then we got 14 minutes to 3. Now, here's the deal. The future close. I really like the future close. I'm following up. Linear, nonlinear, linear, nonlinear. Okay, I'm working the system. Boom, boom. Now, by the way, am I using the same mode every time? No. I'm using video text, voice text, phone call, Instagram, Facebook Messenger. Everybody see that? I'm not going back the same way every time. I'm using every mode available to me. Okay? The future close is where I take you to a place in the future. Let's take these Paul Mitchell folks. And I say, man, we're sitting here. You're in your salon. You're manifesting your dream. You're doing exactly what you love every single day. If you and I were sitting here 18 months from today, and you graduated, and you're on your own salon, and you're out there helping people, tell me what would have to happen for you to feel good about making this decision. Take them to a place in the future. And then bring them back to the present. This is the future close. Okay? Take them to a place in the future. We're sitting here December 31st of this year. You had the biggest year of your life. These problems have disappeared in your life. I have come in to solve these problems for you. Well, tell me what would have to happen for you to move forward with me. And let them tell you. This would have to happen, this would have to happen, this would have to happen. Okay, great. If I could show you how I've done this for other people, would you have enough confidence to move forward with me? Okay? Would you have enough confidence to move forward with me? And would you have enough confidence to do it today? See that? That's the future close. I go to the future and I come back to the present. And I let them tell me. Just tell me what it looks like. Jay said, what's got to happen, man? I'm internationally known. I've got 1 million to 10 million Instagram followers. We're generating millions of dollars of business from being famous in the world. Right? Take me to a place in the future and then have me come back to the... What would have to happen for you to feel good about this, man? This is progress. This is what's got to happen, man, for me to feel good about making decisions. Killing something off, okay? And then finally, the sounds like close. And I've already kind of alluded to this one. When you have a person in the red zone, they're right in the 20-yard line. You need to be able to say to them, man, it sounds like you want to do this. Get them excited. Sell some enthusiasm. It seems like you've been talking about this for a long time. Am I right about that? Right? Like it feels like this is perfect for you. Sounds like, it seems like, it feels like. Then stack on, I can't help you till you commit to something, but once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail. If you and I are sitting here 12 months from today, man, what would have to happen for you to feel good about this? Well, these things, okay, great. See how I'm stacking these things. I'm stacking these things. Okay, I'm stacking these things. These are word tracks. And if you could pick which one you like the most, I can't tell you how many people are using the commitment one. And it's helping them. They're closing more people because of the commitment. Okay, now what stops a person from doing these things? How many of you have made up your mind it's to their benefit to take action with you? Okay, I know. I have made up my mind. It's to your benefit to move forward. I've made up my mind. If you come spend a day with me, I know what it can do for your life. I know that some of you are going to leave here and you're going to say, yep, I'm going to get better to follow, but you're never going to build out a 7-touch system. I know the power of getting in a room and for a full day doing a workshop on nothing but walking out here with the true 7-touch system before, during, and after. I know how much money you can make. I know it. I've already made up my mind. I have a high degree of certainty about this. Right? You got to make up your mind that you got a high degree of certainty. That, man, if somebody does business with you, it is to their benefit to move out of all the people they could choose on planet Earth. You are the most qualified. You are the most qualified for them to move forward with. And you got to fight for you. Now, why would people not give these closes? What's the number one reason they wouldn't use these closes? Okay? Fear. If you look up the definition of fear in the dictionary, fear is an unpleasant emotion created by a belief that something is going to harm me in the future. Someone or something is going to harm me in the future. There are fear of embarrassment. There is a fear of rejection. There is a fear of failure. And some people actually have a fear of success, which is hard really to understand, but some people actually do fear being successful because they'll have more responsibility. I, at 25 years old, changed my mind about fear, and I specifically changed my mind about rejection. Okay, 25 years old, I had met the woman I thought I was going to marry. They tell you you're just supposed to what? No. Well, I knew. I knew so much that I went and took out a credit card and bought a $5,000 engagement ring. I put that engagement ring in the bank in a lockbox, and I planned the date I was going to propose to this person. And what I really did is, although I knew that I wanted to marry this person, I had some scarcity. And the scarcity was she was pulling away from me. And sometimes this is a big thing on follow-up, when you play not to lose, it always guarantees what? Losing. The harder I push, the more it drove her away. And so we start to deteriorate the relationship. I'm madly in love. So I do what any good man does. I call one of her best friends. And I say, look, I don't know what's going on, but I need to know what's going on. And she said something I'll never forget. She said, Michael, don't ask the question if you don't want to know the answer. Now, I'm a high D, and when you tell me not to do something, what do you think I do? I'm like, I'm calling her right now. So I call her, and I say, we gotta meet. We got to talk. We got to work through this. Got to figure out what's going on. And she said, all right, come to this restaurant, actually my hometown, go to this restaurant in my hometown, and I sit down, but on the way, I stop by and I get the engagement ring, right? And I sit down, and the very first words out of her mouth is, Michael, I love you, but I don't love you enough to marry you. That's how the conversation started. And I was so weak in that moment, so insecure, I actually said, well, how much do you have to love somebody to marry them? Because I know some people that are married that don't like each other at all. Now, isn't that pitiful? All of my confidence was tied up in her. All of my confidence was tied up in how she felt about it. All of my confidence was in what she thought about me, which is a huge mistake, by the way. Yes. So we sit there and we go through this, and she tells me that we're breaking up. We're ending the relationship. I'm crying like a baby at a restaurant, sad. She's crying. We're all crying. Everybody's, what's going on? And I reach in my pocket and I say, well, let me show you how much I love you. And I showed her that engagement ring. And that was devastating, right? And we broke up that day. And I had to take that engagement ring back. And it is a lonely day when you take an engagement ring back. And the person at the jeweler said, Mr. Burt, why are you bringing this ring back? Is it a broken engagement? And I'm like, I will punch you in the face right now. Why do you think I'm bringing it back? And folks, I went through a period of depression. And when I say depression, clinical depression. I threw up every morning when I got out of bed. I literally couldn't go a second without thinking about her. I wasn't trying to make it day to day, folks. I was trying to make it second to second. And along the way, I'm going through this depression. The feelings I had was feelings of rejection. Man, I feel so rejected. I want her. She don't want me. This is the woman I'm supposed to marry. I've screwed this up somehow. And along the way comes this other person. Her name was Octavia Fontana. She was a beautiful Italian woman. Beautiful. And she came along and she really just became my friend. And she coached me through this breakup. And she said to me one day, she said, the way you're looking at this is all wrong. I said, what do you mean? Like, I'm a wreck. I loved her. She didn't love me. That's rejection. She said, no, she is not rejecting you. She said, she just wants something different than what you have to offer. Then she said something that changed my life forever, guys. She said, there is no such thing as rejection. Some people will want you. Some people won't. So what? She said, you're so focused on the past that you can't even see all the possibilities you have in the future. Okay? And when she said that to me, my mindset about my fear of rejection just melted away. Okay? She really changed my mind about rejection. So if I call you today and I say, look, man, I really want to be your coach. I really want to help you. I see potential in you. I know I can get you to the next level. If you say, I don't want it, I'm not interested in it, lose my number, right? You're not rejecting me. Some people will want what you have. Some people will not want what you have. So what? We just keep on moving. Okay? I changed my mind about rejection. Okay? Now, the great part of that story is, as you know, I went on to meet the woman I was supposed to marry, to have the 2 beautiful kids I was supposed to have. Right? And many years later, I went back to speak in my hometown to the teachers. And guess who was sitting on the front row?
I'm ready now.
And I said, so I walk in and I see her sitting on the front row. It's the first time I'd seen her in years. And I said, you know, I'm going to need a PowerPoint for this one. Oh, yeah. And they put up a PowerPoint and I put a picture of my beautiful family flying on that private jet. And I said, man, I am so lucky to have the life I have today. And the wife I have today and the kids I have today. Like, man, what a life I have. It's crazy. And she's sitting on the front row and she just does this. Now, here's my point. Here's my point.
What kind of clothes is that one?
That was closure for me, right? Now, here's the reason I'm telling you this. Some of you will not go home and practice what I've been teaching you today because you got some kind of fear. I want to replace a word. You may think I'm aggressive. I'm convicted. I have replaced the word aggressive. I have a conviction about me. I have devoted my whole life to helping people. Almost every second that I'm alive, I think about how I can help another person. I have done that to the detriment sometimes of my marriage, so the detriment sometimes of my kids, because my whole focus is on how do I help people get to their potential. I know what I'm doing every day, and when I'm following up with a person, I know I can help change their life. So I'm not aggressive about it. I'm convicted about it, right? And if you don't want it, it's okay. Somebody will want it. You don't need more money, you need more people. The people have the money. But if you don't follow up and solve a problem for those people, there's no exchange available. So hopefully today for you has been about, man, follow up is important. Okay? And I'll kind of end it with this because this is really the tie-in to everything. When you think about the real purpose of the follow-up, what's really today been about? It's not just been about closing some business. I hope you hear that in my heart. It is really about you got dreams. You've got ambitions. You've got passions. These take follow-up and they take follow-through. The people you see that are out there doing big things in the world, they're not any smarter than you. They're not any more talented than you. They weren't given some kind of special gift that you didn't have. What they have is a grit and a toughness to just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. They follow up and they follow through. And that's the only thing that separates them from you folks. At the end of the day, to get to the other side, the only thing you need is you need to go the distance and you need to understand the methodology. And that's really the purpose of what we talked about today. I've had a blast coaching you today. You guys have come from all over the country. People who got up this morning, drove from Mississippi. Thank you. To get up in the morning and right. And I was still writing that book when you guys left this morning. Thank God. Okay. For those of you that come around the world, where did you come from, JJ? Miami, Florida. For those of you that got on airplanes or you spent time driving or you watched me online or spent the day with me, man, it does my heart good. When I first started this coaching business, I knew every single person in the room. Okay? And I tell people today, man, people come from all over the world. And it does my heart good to be able to coach people that want to get better, that have a desire and propensity to do big things in the world. If I could just play a very, very small part in that, then that's why I do what I do every single day, is to help people like you play at another level. So as you depart today, okay, I want you to remember, people come to my lodge, and the only thing that breaks my heart, and Mike will tell you, anybody on my team will tell you, is I could show you testimonial video after testimonial video of people that come to this lodge. I've seen them cry. I've seen them have breakdowns. I've seen them have breakthroughs. I've seen them come up to me and say, man, I'm going to go back and do this. One guy not long ago walked up to me and handed me a letter. He was probably a year ago. He was shaking, crying, and handed me a letter and said, I don't want you to read this. I'm too emotional. I can't. I just want you to read this. And I took it home and I showed my wife. And it said, I've been to X number of Tony Robbins events. I've been in therapy for 10 years. He said, and you helped me more in 2 days than people have helped me in the last 10 years. That's the good part of the story. The bad part of the story is he signed up for the coaching program, and 6 months later he tried to quit. And I said, man, remember how you felt at the lodge that day? You got to see this through to its conclusion. You can't get to the next level by starting and stopping. You got to commit. So the biggest thing that breaks my heart is people leave here, and then I never see them again. They want to commit to something. So we've given you 3 opportunities to go deeper with me. Right? One opportunity is to get involved in the coaching program. Get that weekly dose from me every single week. I'm coaching you through the whole system. Many of you are in the Monster Producer program. Just get in there and show up, and I promise you, you can get better. It's $83 a month, folks. And for the people that take action today, we're going to give you a 2-day boot camp with me, which is typically another $797 or $997. So we're going to give you, right, a 2-day boot camp for the people that get in to take that $83 option today. It's simple, it's easy, but it can make a significant difference, okay? Second option is we're going to pick a day, and we're going to come back to the lodge. I'm going to take 24 people only. I'm going to put you in groups of 3, and we're going to build out this follow-up, and we're going to role play, and there's going to be a more workshop style where we're testing, role playing, overcoming objections, okay? And you're going to solve your follow-up problem forever, okay? Third option is to come and work with me for a day, to really see what it's like to work at a high pace, a high intensity, to pick up that phone and call people, to put multi-million-dollar deals together. And like I said, there's no way you can be exposed to this kind of intensity and energy and it not expand your thinking. I remember going and spending time with Cardone. I remember spending time with some of the biggest people in the world. I remember spending a day with a billionaire, watching him work. How does he talk to people? How does he close? How does he follow up? How does he deal with problems? Like just observation. And every time I spent time with those people, I walked away thinking bigger. I'm like, man, I'm playing so small compared to the way I should be playing, right? So if you're interested in that, man, come to work with me one day and go pro. Really see what it takes to go pro. Don't think about it, like see it, like right, observe it. Get in the arena with me. So if you're interested in any of those things today, if you're online, just let my team know. You can step into a room with Megan or Kara or Tony. They could help you. Or if you're in the room and say, man, I want to go pro. This is the time for you to go pro, folks. Today was just a little piece. Okay? Don't be one of those people that leave and just leave without taking the whole thing. Fair enough? God bless you for coming today. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, folks online. Thank you.